All right. Welcome to live Tuesday Teardowns. We're a few minutes late today. Sorry for some technicalities, but here we are. I'm going to jump into it, and this is going to be a live Tuesday teardown that is, around 10 minutes, where I'm going to talk about a lot of conversations I've had from last week and some thinking I have around that. So let's share my screen and jump in. Again, if you have any comments live, drop them in there. I will answer them. And I'm going to take you through this presentation and a teardown of an idea that I think is really relevant for right now for Q3 before we get into Q4 around optimizing for answer engines like Rufus and what needs to be done on that front. So let me share my screen and we'll go straight from there. All right, live Tuesday teardowns. I started always with an unpopular opinion, and the one that I want to put in there for today is: if your listing doesn't speak AI, Rufus will ignore you. And I think a lot of the community is saying, "Hey, Rufus isn't there yet. The algorithm hasn't shifted," but we're seeing it definitely shift, and it's here to stay. So the more you can ensure that your listings are schematically created for Rufus, which is ultimately an answer engine on Amazon, right? Driven by AI, the better you have a chance of actually being seen and being presented as a recommendation for customers. And the critical part there is customers are using Rufus more and more in that capacity, right? They use it on other AI platforms like ChatGPT, with Claude, etc. They're using it in that same fashion on Amazon. And you need to make sure that your product and listing is appearing for those types of searches, and it's happening. So that's ultimately what I'm going to be talking about today, is how to think about schematically creating your listing to ensure that it is optimized for Rufus, and some concepts around that of how you can do that. And I'm going to give you access to a bullet point assets that you can take, which tells you exactly how you should be looking at structuring your listings, moving it from the old way of optimizing for Amazon's A9 algorithm into the new way, which is Rufus focused and Cosmo focused, and ensuring that you're schematically created your listings in the right structure to appear and be visible for searches. Getting it done now before Q4 is upon us in just under 12 weeks. If you don't know who ZonGuru is and you're jumping on, you see me for the first time, we are focused on an AI powered set of tools to really help you scale your revenue and profits fast. And our specific focus is around PDP, your product detail page optimization, the content. How do you optimize your content and images for SEO, for AEO, which is becoming a new way of optimizing both on Amazon and beyond, right? And that is really one of our focuses. We've had a lot of firsts in the space with integrating with OpenAI first, Rufus optimization first. And we have a lot of deep expertise and knowledge around that. So here's what I want to talk about today. I titled it "Meet the AE Moment on Amazon and Beyond," answer engine optimization, right? And for a concept, I want to tell you, like, people ask me all the time, like, what is Rufus, right? And the easiest way to think about it is Rufus. If you type in, "Hey, I'm looking for a knee brace because I just had surgery," right? You might type that into Rufus and ask for some recommendations. It's going to come back and give you the answers to your questions, right? It's the same thing that we do on Google and obviously ChatGPT, and Perplexity, etc., which is, ask questions and then get answers back from the AI, right? And Rufus's summaries that they put in there is similar to what you get on Google or ChatGPT, right? So think of it in that same way. If people are asking questions and they're getting answers, how do I make sure that my listings are structured to ensure that AI is looking at it and getting the answers and recommending your product and giving it visibility versus others? How does Google do that, right? And there's a lot of work that goes into that, and there's a lot of similarities between the platforms, right? At a high level, maybe this is another unpopular opinion, but Amazon is following in the footsteps of these big AI platforms, right? And trying to replicate their ability to learn and give answers back and recommend products in the same way that ChatGPT does, Perplexity, Claude, etc. Right? So it's a really important point. This is the PDF I'm going to give you. I'm going to walk through and highlight a few things here. And if you listen towards the end, I'll give you a link. You can literally get this delivered direct to you, or just put it in the comments and we'll send it over. Okay, so we've talked about this, right? You know, AEO, which is Answer Engine Optimization, is here and growing, especially, you know, on Amazon. Rufus is Amazon's answer to OpenAI, Google, and Perplexity, right? The risk is if you don't structure your listing in the right way, you are not going to be, you know, visible to Rufus on Amazon. And more importantly, you know, actually, as we get into this world of AI shopping layers that you're getting on ChatGPT, Perplexity, as these start to come into the foreground, if your listings are structured in a way that they like to consume content and learn, you're not going to get visibility beyond Amazon with your Amazon listings on these platforms, right? And so if you type in, hey, I'm looking for a knee brace, you know, Perplexity, tell me what I should be looking for, and it will tell you, and then it'll say, hey, give me some recommendations. It might be pulling through, you know, Amazon listings. It might be pulling through your content, and as those layers build, it needs to be able to read and ensure that your product is the right recommendation to those engines. So, you know, ZonGuru really focuses on how, in this world of AEO, how do we optimize your listings on Amazon for visibility and traction on Amazon, but, you know, thinking about the space in general and the future of where shopping is going, and making sure that your Amazon listings are visible in those shopping layers as well. Very cool. Okay, so what is the critical, you know, what's critical to a well-structured listing? And I've highlighted some of these things. So title and product identity, right? Ensuring that you include your brand, your product type, primary functions, key differentiator in the title. You know, make sure that you focus on those 200 characters, but the first 80 are critical, right? And, you know, use natural language. Don't keyword stuff for sure. You know, we all talk about that. But, you know, the key thing here is actually broad matching, right? So we find that if you know, I've said this before, keyword optimization is not dead for sure. It's an intent-based, you know, signal to Rufus and you know, to get you more visibility. So, you know, how do you make sure that you, in your listings, you know, still look at the main relevant keywords, and if you broad match on those, you will get a lot more natural language. It's not going to be keyword stuff. You're not going to repeat keywords, and you are signaling the algorithms that you are really relevant for these searches, right? And that works really well. AI does a really good job of helping you come up with that title, and obviously we have that inside of our technology. Bullet points, you know, use brand tone. Like, make sure your brand stands out, right? You know, these AEO, these answer engines, what are they looking for? Like a good executive summary up front, right? So use your first bullets. What is it? Who's it for? Describe that up front. You know, pair features with benefits, right? 100% bamboo, sustainable, and premium looking. You know, use semantic varieties, right? So semantic, you know, keyword connection is really saying like, hey, if we seed certain keywords, the AI will be able to semantically look at like what are the other similar keywords and rank you for that, right? So that's why broad matching works well. That's why natural language works well. But you know, you might, if you repeat keywords, it's going to ding you. But if you have semantic synonyms as well, that can work really well for your product, right? So look at synonyms. That's a really good thing to include in your listing outside of broad matching. Product description, A+ content. You know, one of the things that I really want to highlight is your alt text. You know, what is the metadata that you can put behind your images? Like, that's critical, right? And filling that out in detail is really important, including trust signals, brand, FAQ style questions. What are the top questions, the objections? Make sure you're answering that in your A+ content. That is really helpful. And, you know, obviously, you know, Rufus, you know, Amazon's algorithm are reading your images just like ChatGPT and Perplexity does, right? Drop an image in and ask AI, hey, what do you see, right? So the copy, the content that you put in there outside of the images is also critical. You're optimizing images for human conversion, but you're also for algorithmic for AI conversion, right? So you know, make sure that you have you know, your branding in there, but make sure you have, you know, content in there, the benefits. We have a big tool called a listing image analysis optimization that will come back and tell you, based on customer sentiments, competitors, what are and AI, what are the things that you should be putting into your images based on copy. Backend attributes, the big thing there is fill out everything, right? It really is important. Your reviews and QA, make sure that you understand the most important questions that need to be answered, and including some of that into your copy, right? Objections, of course, but just answering your top FAQ questions. We talked about that a little earlier. Especially with Rufus, you're optimizing not only for recommendations, but for experiences, right? More research-based questions. Hey, I have a camping chair, or I'm going camping. What are the type of products I need, right? So understanding what Rufus is going to recommend and ensuring that you have that quality score for those longer tail experiences in your listing is important. Yes, Amazon is still intent-based and intent-led. Hey, I'm looking specifically for this, but people are starting to use it more and more to ask for recommendations around experiences. So understanding how to include that in your copy and have a quality score match for that is critical. Make sure you have brand authority and trust included everywhere in your listings, right? That gives you a uniqueness on Amazon and beyond, right? So people are looking for brand, right? So this is your chance to really explore that. And again, just making sure that you're AI ready, right? So this is a fluid moving space, going back to that question up front, or that unpopular question. And, yes, Rufus, if you're not Rufus optimized, you might not appear, but that is still evolving, right? So ensuring that we update now, but there's an ongoing readiness where you're looking for opportunities, you're looking for tweaks, smarter ways to ensure that you stand out from the cluster that is there, right? And you get recommended and noticed by AI is critical, right? Content is an important piece of that. Clearly, number of reviews, how people are talking about your product, sales velocity, all of these things are critical. These are the things that ZonGuru does, right? We have Rufus listing AI analysis, image AI analysis, keyword AI generator. We have PPC transparent AI bidding engines. We do bulk SEO updates, right? Moving your listings from the old way to the new way in a fast and efficient way, right? Still holding onto your brand tone and enhancing your listings. That's a critical thing that we're doing now for a lot of brands and agencies as we build up into Q4. So what I'm offering you guys, anybody listening right now, or listening in the future, go ahead and book some time with me, and we will give you a free listing, a Rufus listing optimization, an answer engine optimization for your current listings, enhancing it so that it's ready for Q4, which is coming in under 12 weeks, right? So how do we evolve your listing from what worked well in the past may not work well in the future? So how do we make sure that we evolve your listing to make sure it works well in the future and is aligned with everything that's going to happen as Q4 hits us coming soon, and you capitalize on all those sales. So if you want to get that, fill out this link, zonguru.link/growth-report-15. That will book a few minutes with me. We can pick your listing, and we can then get the team to actually do the work inside of our technology. Yes, you can do that yourself, but our team will actually do it and present it to you and say, hey, here's your old listing, here's your new listing, and this is why it's better, and this is what's changed. Critical, and we'll do that for the first 10 here who book this on this link, zonguru.link growth-report-15. So zonguru.link/growth-report-15, and we will get in there and do this for you. And we can do one, and then if you like it, we can do the rest. That is on offer. Jump in and get that going. Thank you so much. That is the live Teardown Tuesday for today. Really talking about answer engine optimization. What is it? How should you be doing it? How should you be considering it on Amazon? Ensuring that you have the best listings that you've worked incredibly hard on in the past, making sure that what's worked in the past now works in the future, and you're not missing the boat going into Q4 because you want the sale. You don't want your competitors getting the sale. This is the time to do the work so that you're ready for Q4 as it comes up. If you need help with that, we can jump in and optimize your listings based on deep research that we have and knowledge and case studies and validation to ensure that you have the best listings without changing your true structure, just enhancing it and making sure it's perfect for Q4 coming up. Check it out. Join on that link, and we will see you next Tuesday for the next Tuesday live Teardown. Cheers.